My name is Wesahana Pearson, conducting an interview for Black Asia magazine. I'm talking to this brother right here, and he just told me a little bit about himself. So just to recap, could you first, for the site, tell me your name?
Okay, hi everybody. Nice to meet you all. It's my first time, to be interviewing the Black magazine. So my name is Guy Perol Mandoumou, and basically I'm from Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire. For those who know that, the French speakers.
Okay. All right. And so you grew up in Ivory Coast.
hmm
Where are you living right now, and how long have you been living there?
Okay, well, at the moment, I'm living in Tokyo. In Japan, in Tokyo. So
Okay.
I've been living in Tokyo for now 7.5 years.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
well, and I'm actually working as an accountant, for an international accounting firm, But besides, this day job, I also do event promotion, event organization. So we actually, doing a lot of events, especially about Africa, in
Okay.
Japan and in Tokyo, especially. Yeah.
Okay. How do you like Japan? You've been there for over 7 years. What has been your experience? Is it a cool place, or basically, can you tell me what has it been like?
Well, it's, I will say, and as I always say to my people, Japan for me, it has been like an adventure, because,
Okay.
I just came around here, without even speaking the language, and, you get all those communication problem at the beginning, so you need to
Mhm.
fit in the society. You get to understand, the people, the way they think, and the way they do. So, it's not really easy, especially from people. For people like me, and especially for where I'm from, because when you look at, geographically talking, Japan and Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast, this is a very very huge distance, so
Right. Yeah.
very
Okay.
very far. So different, totally different culture. Food habits. You need to get to a new food habit, a new lifestyle. So well, that was been just my journey in Japan has just been amazing. So I've been discovering
Wow.
new thing every day, every day. You never stop to learn in Japan. So
Okay.
that's
So
basically how I've been living.
right now, would
Mm.
you say you're fluent in Japanese? How's your Japanese coming along?
Well, I could say, I won't say, I'm a master, but, I am fluent enough, because, even at work, because, you have to use Japanese to talk with the Japanese coworkers. And you also have to, to speak Japanese in the society. When you go to the supermarket, you don't speak English there or French there. Now
Mhm.
that won't work. So you need to, to get used to the language. So yeah, my level is quite, you can test me. I'm okay to take the test. I don't know.
All right.
I heard
Let
you
me get
left.
some
Yeah, I
questions.
heard you lived in Japan before, so I guess you can speak Japanese. So,
Next to nothing. You'd be surprised. I learned hardly anything when I was living in Japan.
oh, really?
Yeah, seriously. I wish I learned a lot more.
Okay, well, that's good. Next
But
time I'm gonna challenge you.
eh, soon. Okay, soon. Can you tell me, like, in the
Mm,
first place, when you first started to travel,
mm.
what was the thing that prompted you to leave Ivory Coast in the first place when you first left and moved to Japan?
Honestly, a lot of people will come and say, to answer to this question, they will say, oh, well, that was my dream, and I wanted to go somewhere to have a better life. No, I was in Ivory Coast, and especially in Abidjan, and I really love my life there.
Hmm.
You have family there, friend there for you, everything was fine. We are not rich, but I'm having it. I was living with my mom, and obviously, she was having enough, to take care of us, and I was happy with that. So, but it just came, at a certain point, this opportunity to come and in Japan and studies and stuff. So I decided, yeah, why not? I just wanted to try something new. So I decided, okay, why not? Let's just take it. And hopefully, it went through. Everything was good. So I came, I prepared my travel, my trip and stuff. So yeah, I am. So, but 7.5 later, I'm still here. So yeah,
So, did
basically
you
that was that.
originally come as a student?
Yeah. Basically, I came as a student. In Ivory Coast, basically when you graduate from high school, basically student, they have like two choices. You will have the people, of course, those that's the means, to afford. The school fees and stuff. They would just choose to go to Europe, especially France or
Yeah.
London. Or you have some people that will say, okay, no, I'm go to America, Los Angeles, California. That's so many. I mean, friend who's living there at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But for those, there's the other, and beside that, you have the other group who really, doesn't really have a lot of, money and stuff. So the finance is not good, so they decide to stay home in the country. So for me, actually, my parents, especially my father, he was really, um, he really wanted me to go to France, and like, to say the
Okay.
truth. So I was like, after study France, with we in Africa we all have all this influence of the Western countries. It's
Yeah.
almost like westernized lifestyle, So
Yeah.
Western, so I was like, no, I want to try something new and new lifestyle. So I say, okay, why not about Asia? Because Asia was very booming at the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody was talking about China taking over. They were talking about Japan, who is a very quiet country. From outside you don't really know what is happening inside, but everybody knew, like, oh, Japan, they're quite developed country. So I'd say, okay, let's try. So
Okay.
yeah, so I came here. Of course I came here to study, and after study now I'm working. So
That's remarkable that you had that kind of adventurousness in your spirit to just say, okay, let me go to the other side
yeah,
of the world.
sometimes I'm a kind of away guy. I don't really like to do what everybody is doing, so I prefer to do my thing. Everybody is going to the state. Oh, I'm going to Japan. So that's
Excellent. Okay. Moving along,
yeah.
can you tell me, other than Japan, have you been to any other countries, even in Africa or Asia?
Yeah,
Anything else?
well, mainly, I would say mainly in Africa, but when I was a kid, because of my father job and situation, so we have to move to Egypt. So we live some few years there, and then we moved to Canada and Montreal.
Okay.
That was a very kid. I don't really remember, but after that, in Africa, I visited a lot of countries, like Western countries, like Ghana. I went to Benin, Senegal,
Mhm.
Togo, and then in Central Africa too, Gabon, Congo. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much that.
Francophone Africa, the
Yeah,
French speaking
basically
part.
francophone. except
Yeah.
of Ghana, which they
Yes.
speak English.
Okay. All right. So, can you tell me, you've been in Japan for quite a while and you grew up in Cote d'Ivoire.
Mm-hmm.
What are some differences that you've clearly been able to see, or maybe even more subtle differences between
Well,
these places?
it's a very, very, the difference is huge,
Okay.
just, when you just compare just the city, like you compare Tokyo with like the high technology, the ultimate metropolitan,
Mhm.
and compared to Abidjan, well, we
Yeah.
have some kind of, Abidjan is quite developed. It's
Mhm.
actually is famous, it's well known to be one of the most developed, cities in West Africa and in Africa in
Mhm.
general. But Tokyo is another level, so the life is very fast in Tokyo. Fast life, and everybody is busy. The city is moving. In the
Yeah.
morning you see, like, so many, workers, just go through the station. So the train are crowded. So
Yeah.
the
I know
culture,
that.
the food, the crowded train in
I
Tokyo.
know. And for
The
me,
morning,
being a New Yorker, for me, it was a little bit too developed. It was a little bit too fast paced. It can be like almost like a headache sometimes.
yeah,
That life is not for everybody. It's very grueling, very rigorous.
yeah,
You have
but
to.
especially, when you get used to this life, you start to feeling like, oh man, this is very dangerous for you. So
Yeah.
maybe it's time to go, because in the morning, everybody woke up early. Is everything, already calculated, is already fixed. There's no really surprise. Everything is, well organized. Disciplined. So wow, very impressive. So well, and of course you come to the food. So in
Mhm.
Japan, they have a very typical, nutritional program here. So
Yeah.
compared to what we eat back home, they are more like, the healthy things, sushi, raw food. So you have to get used
Yeah.
to that. So yeah.
Typically in Cote d'Ivoire, what would you eat? Because my impression of the food in
Mm,
Japan was that it was
yeah.
very tasty, but it
Mhm.
was so light, especially coming from an
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
perspective, where we have like a lot of starch, like
Mm,
potatoes, mac and
mm,
cheese, a lot of
mm.
meat, a lot of rice.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Totally, totally. The food in Japan, the food in Japan is basically like very simple,
Yeah.
it's made of simple things. In Ivory Coast, for example, we we mainly, we're only good at soup, like soup, soup,
Okay.
like tomato soup, like okra soup, or so many things like that. So
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
pretty heavy stuff, pretty heavy stuff. If you eat some, like, there's a very famous dish we call futu banan,
Futu banan.
futu banan. That's I like this food because this is one of my favorite food.
Okay,
Futu
I'm
banan.
writing that down. So if I
Yeah,
go
check it
to
out.
an Ivory Coast restaurant, African restaurant,
Yeah,
check that out.
yeah. So futu banan with some palm soup,
Okay.
and you eat it at lunch. Or this is very heavy, compared
Uh,
to, to a dish of sushis. You see like the calorie differences already, man. So, well, that's the thing. So very, very thing. So in Ivory Coast too, we also good at, we eat also, grilled fish. Like we like barbecue. I know,
mm,
in the States you are more like
yeah, yeah.
barbecue,
It's
sausage
from
stuff.
America. We love barbecue.
Yeah. So basically, that's what we do. That's what we eat. So
All
very
right.
tasty, by the
Okay.
way.
All right. So you told me that you're an accountant.
Yeah, and well, actually, I work as an accountant, and I'm also, I also do some tax advisory and consultancy, especially for foreign country that actually try to, implement themselves in Japan. So
Okay.
because Japan has very, very, very specific law, tax law,
Mm,
especially for foreign entities. So sometimes it's very difficult, to for people that don't live in Japan, or that doesn't know about the rules here, to
mm,
come and just start business. You don't just
yeah.
come to Japan and start business like that. So we, my structure, my company,
Mm,
we are specialized. It's one of the, it's quite of, people. I mean, you know, knows it in the world. So but I won't say the name here. I don't want any publicity for them. But yeah, uh,
okay.
do that. That's what we do every day. So basically, I'm counting money of people and give them advice on how to spend their money, or what they should be careful. What they should be aware. When they do
Mm,
business in Japan. Yeah, basically, yeah, that's it.
okay. All right. Okay. Moving down the list. So, big question. How do you feel as a black man living and working in Japan? Good points, bad points, everything in general.
Wow, that's a
Like,
good question.
have you noticed it? And if
Yeah,
you noticed it, then how do you feel?
but I just hope my Japanese fellow that really don't be get mad at me
Mm,
anyway. So well, frankly speaking, I would just start by the good point.
mhm.
There's a lot of good point living in Japan. In Japan, honestly, as a black guy, whether you're a black guy or you're not a black guy, if you deserve, to have something, they will give it to you.
Yeah.
Japan will always give you a chance, whether you from here or from outside. I remember, when I graduated from university, or I finished my studies, and I was like at the same level. They consider me as the same level as all the Japanese, that graduate university. So
Mhm.
you go do your jump heading, of course, some position, they will be like, we maybe need more local people, but
Mhm.
of course, there's a lot of position. Japan is a very developing in an international society, so
Yeah.
they need more people like us, like like me, we can speak Japanese and also English and maybe French, so that they could very use you, to go. Sorry,
Okay.
they
So
could use
because
you
of
to
your
go
particular
to.
skill set, it made
Yeah,
you
the
more
skill set
marketable, I guess.
very important. So it's very the skill set, that's yeah, it's not because they won't discriminate you, but at a certain point, of course, at a certain level, there's a certain level they don't really give access, to the foreign people
Yeah.
in general, not only the black people, but foreign people in general. But yeah, they've been quite open, and I would say also, the customer service in Japan is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I don't know if you've been to a Japanese. I'm pretty sure you've been to a Japanese restaurant
Of course,
before,
yes.
or Japanese shop.
Mhm.
What they call it, the omotenashi. So the omotenashi here is like very. The hospitality is
Mhm.
very amazing. So I really like it, and yeah, Tokyo is a very modern city. There's a lot of things to do, and I really like it. Now, move to the bad point. After saying all this, at the end of the day, you are still not, I mean, a guy from here. You are still not a person from Japan.
Okay.
Especially for people like us, it's very
Mhm.
easy. to know. Like, I cannot go and say, hey, hey, look, I'm Japanese. I cannot get confused myself. So just by sight, people know, oh, this guy is not from here. So of course, I mean, I've noticed that a lot of my Japanese fellow, have been lacking information, and especially, they have been really misinformed by, I mean, there's propaganda going against
the media.
the media,
Yeah,
showing people. So they really have a very, like, really tight, I mean, tiny image of
narrow.
African people, very narrow image of African people in general. So
Okay.
they will basically ask you some question like, oh, how did you come to Japan? I mean, is there any airport in your country? Like, I mean, it's like, come on, man. I mean, anyway.
All right. So with the fact that you've seen people with this really narrow view, how do you deal with that when you come in contact with that? Are you doing anything to try and maybe educate people, or you leave it, or how do you handle it?
The first thing, is education, and I think one famous singer, Bob Marley said, education is the key.
Yeah.
So, of course, you got to throw up some education, sometimes they're even surprised, and after throwing some education, they'll feel like, oh, I maybe came to you with a very dumb question. They realize like how dumb the question was that. So, when you encounter those people, I always told my people, the best thing is, just keep your calm, and take the guy, on the side and try to educate him, and of course, maybe he might not believe you on the place, but what do we go and then try to, I mean, to make some research and say, oh yeah, actually what the guy told me was actually true. So, oh really? Yeah, because it's the key, you cannot win this fight, by just like go against them, like why so you just have to keep calm and educate them. That's basically what we do.
Right.
I mean, what I do personally.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right. So from there, you told me you're an accountant. You've been living there for several years.
Yep.
What kinds of other jobs and businesses do you see Black people involved in there in Japan?
Well, to understand, the Black community in Japan, from what, I mean, from my personal point of view, I would say, you have to divide the Black community in two groups. There's that group, that migrate to Japan. I mean, that came to Japan in the early 80s or early 90s. Those people, that were like more like, how to say, more like manual work oriented, so they're more in the construction jobs, and then after that, some of them, evolved like, we're gonna get into not the business, but I would say like the entertainment world. So that's how you start to seeing, some brothers, for example, opening some bars and some club here and there, and yeah, that was it. And at the moment, that was at that time, that was like, oh, you open a club, that was kind of success, and then after this generation, you have a new generation that came, I would say like early 20s, I mean 2000s, like, I mean, you have the people that come, that was more like, I mean, the academic, people that came for studies, and more students, try to improve the skills. So, yeah, those people, they are actually, working in the companies here in Japan, yeah. So that's actually the things. But the problem, we have here in Japan is like, there are more, I mean, especially in the Black community, you will find more people, I mean, more doing like the construction job, like very small jobs, working on the street and stuff, So this is also one of the problems, because the Japanese, they will only keep for them the image, on the African people. The first African they have to meet, I mean, the encounter with, that might be the guy that was standing in Shibuya or Harajuku, I mean, selling things or distributing paper or flyers or calling customers. So for them, that's the image they have, the first image they have in their head. So for them, an African guy or a Black guy is the guy standing in Shibuya or Roppongi doing that. So sometimes it's difficult. When even I'd say like, oh, I'm working as I'm accountant, like somebody like, oh, really? Are you serious? Like they don't really believe you. So yeah, because that's the stereotype now.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's okay. Great. Thank you for giving me that information. From there, can you tell me one thing that you really enjoy about living in Japan and about this society? If there could be more than one, but at least one.
Yeah. I can say, I like, the way, especially, the way Japan is safe.
Ah, okay.
I've been in Japan, I've been in Japan and I never really for 7.5 years, I've never had to worry about, to go out late and get attacked by armed robbers or
Yeah.
to get robbed or something like
Yeah.
that. Very safe city. Not only Tokyo, wherever you go, very safe place.
Mhm.
People are really peaceful. People are
Yeah.
really
There's
peaceful.
like zero street crime there at all. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I
And
did.
what
Yeah.
one of the things that impressed me too is about the fact that how the people they were in Japan. Although Japan, especially Tokyo, is such developed, but they still
Mhm.
keep those they still keep like the culture to the heart.
Okay.
You will see them, going to those what they call matsuri, like I mean traditional festival.
Hmm.
They will be doing that for, and even the festival they will go to the temple. They will be doing this. So even though they are developing as I mean a modern country, a modern city, but they don't forget their roots. And this
Okay.
is very impressive. And I think the black community, we should
Mhm.
also try to go back to our roots and
Yeah, we'll try to copy that at least in
try
that
to
part of
copy
your life.
that. That's what you have to do
That
because
accent.
if you don't know where you're from, or if you don't know your roots, you can't. I mean, it's not even possible
So,
to say
so
you
the
can.
saying is, if you don't know where you came from, you can't know where you're going.
Of course.
That's yeah, that's how it goes. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Hmm.
All right. So next part, yeah, this is your show. I want you to plug for me. Tell me, besides being an accountant, I
Hmm.
know that you're the organizer of an African festival in
Hmm.
Japan. And
Yeah.
you also have some things up on Facebook and a
Hmm.
website
Yeah.
dedicated to that. So
Yep.
you give me as much information and detail as possible about
Okay.
this festival. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So, well, talking about the festival, first of all, thank you, for giving the opportunity to, I mean, to express myself here. So, this festival, we call it now African Festival. The first, when we starting, 4 years ago, before, I mean, prior to the World Cup in Brazil, we have this, we have the Prime Minister of Japan. We went, I mean, we effectuated his first visit in Africa, and the
Mhm.
first African country he ever visited in his life, it was Ivory Coast.
Okay.
The Prime Minister Abe Shinzo of Japan.
Mhm.
So at that time, and there was a lot of things going on between Japan and Ivory Coast. I mean, on the political level, I mean, a lot of how to say, I mean, cooperation and
Yeah.
stuff. So we decided to use this momentum, to create something also on the social and cultural level. So, and also there were the World Cup coming, and Ivory Coast were playing Japan, in the Brazil World Cup. So
Mhm.
we decided to create a festival, that we call it like Cote d'Ivoire Japan Friendship.
Okay.
The festival. That was the original name. So we created there in the first edition. It was just like random people. I mean, random guys. I mean, me and some friend. We decided to create the things, and then everybody liked it. We have like we had so many people. They were like, "Come on, that was good. No, you need to do it again next year." So that's how we went to the second edition, and the
Okay.
second edition also was good. Like, oh no, you guys, what you're doing is good. And a lot of other people from African community, they started to get I mean to come to us and say, oh, well, actually your event is pretty good, so but it's only for Ivory Coast. It looks like we are excluded or something. Say, no, okay, we are all African, so we don't need to. Why won't you, I mean, what when we create a kind of festival, like everybody can come, African, I mean, Ivorian, Ghanaian, or whatever. We are all unite. So we decided to change the name from the third edition to now Africa Festival, but still produced by the Cote d'Ivoire Japan Friendship.
Okay.
So
So if this is the third edition, that means you started this in
this is the fourth
2014.
edition now. The third edition was last year,
Okay. So I'm like, remind me, because like, so the Brazil World Cup, that was in
2014.
2014. Yeah,
Yeah.
Americans don't know much about soccer, football.
It's okay.
Okay.
You guys are good at basketball. That's enough, man.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Thanks.
So no, so that's how, I mean, that's all it started. So since then, we started doing that, and the events started getting bigger and bigger. And this year too, we promise a lot of big things. So it is in August, August 5th and 6th. We do it in
Okay.
Yogi Park. You've been in Japan, and I mean, people
Yes.
in Japan knows that Yogi Park is the biggest place. I mean, the biggest summer, event place, in Japan in general. I mean, in Tokyo, but in Japan especially. So
Okay.
we'll be doing this that for 2 days, and we have so many culture. I mean, so many countries invited. We have Kenya, people from Kenya will be coming, Tanzania, Nigeria. So we try to get all the African talents. And also, of course, as we are living in Japan, we also need to associate our local people. So we're going to have some local people. There will be a stage. So many artists will come and play and perform. We'll have a beer garden and so many things.
Okay. So
Yeah, I mean,
this is August 5th and 6th. This is about maybe 9 more days from now. So coming up very soon.
9 more days. So yeah, we are we are doing the countdown, kind of busy now,
Okay.
because we need to, to settle a lot of things. But the page is open on Facebook, so you just have to hit like affect.tokyo or at
AFEC.
affect.tokyo. Yeah, AFEC.TOKYO. So
Okay.
this is the home page, my bad. And then on Facebook, you just just hit affect in the search bar. So
Yes.
we just, you can come to our page. So we try also to bring like famous talent, in Japan, like Bobby Ologon and Zoma, who is the ambassador of the event for this year. So this is for the festival. And beside it, we decided, because we think that, Africa is not only about, dancing, entertainment. In Africa also, we think, there's a big opportunity to do some business. There's a big opportunity for investor,
Yeah.
especially Japanese investor. So especially, for the first time, we decided to create to make a business seminar. And the business seminar will be held on August 3rd. August
Okay.
3rd.
Well, before the festival.
Yeah, before the 2 days before the festival. So we have the seminar, and the
Okay.
seminar will be about, why is it the right time to invest in Africa now. And then we'll have like people from very famous companies like Deloitte, and we have people from the Ivorian embassy and some African embassies will join and give some information. We have like some panel, and we'll be talking. We make some atelier and have a night network. After that, we'll have a networking event. Like, people will come and discuss. So everybody who is interested to do business in Africa, that's the place you should be. August 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah, and for people living in Tokyo, it's in Roppongi, Ichome, which is a very, a very famous place. People knows.
Right.
So you just have to get there, and you can also go. We have a homepage we call Affect. Affect. How to call this? How to say it? My bad.
Yeah.
Affect slash Tokyo.
Yeah.
Sorry, slash biz.tokyo.
Okay.
So this is the homepage. Yeah.
affect/biz.tokyo.
So you go there, and then you will find, more information. You can apply online, and for the companies, and even you don't own a company, you are welcome, to come and listen, to what you have to be saying. And very important, information will be given that day. So, people
Okay.
need to be there.
All right. That sounds very promising. That sounds
Yeah.
like definitely a very positive event that you created.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
All right. So looking forward, looking towards the future, maybe next couple of years. What direction are you going in? What are your plans for what's coming up now?
Wow.
That's I know, a very broad question.
That's a very big question. Well,
Yes.
at the moment, I'll be just, I plan to continue my activities on short term, doing my festival, helping growing it, and also, concentrating on my job. But in the future, I really plan, to relocate in Africa and try to try something and help the continent. And I really want to, I really want to be part, of this generation, will be helping Africa,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
we have been, we always been told, you guys never come back, you just stay outside, you never come back and help the people there, help the brother, help the continent. But I really, really want to go back, from, want to go back to my country, especially, to give back, to what my country has given to me. I think it's very important. So if I'm here there, is because people before really helped me there. I mean, so I really need to give back. So that's my plan on the long term.
Okay. To
So
go back home and build
go
something
back
back
and
home.
try something. I don't know why, so I'm open to ideas. So yeah, not yet.
Okay.
I haven't decided yet, but I'm open to ideas. So
All right. Give me a little while. I'll think of something. I'll brainstorm a plan, and I'll come to you with that.
no problem, bro.
All right. Thanks a lot for talking to me, brother.
Yeah, we welcome. The pleasure was mine.
And I know, like, both you and I work today. I'm in Taipei, and for
Hmm.
me it's 12:38 a.m. I believe for you in Tokyo it's an hour.
Yeah, it's 1:38
Yeah.
morning.
So yeah, I know we're both tired. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
Is there anything else you want to say or share? Anything at all?
Well, I would like first, to thank you, Wes. I mean, it's a very nice opportunity, and I really like what you're doing. And please,
Yeah.
keep going on it. We should, I told you in the beginning, we should just keep moving in that direction.
Mhm.
Keep, I mean, our hand together and try to, develop and, you know, evolve the Black community, not
Yeah.
only in Asia but in the world too. So that's a
Exactly.
very good initiative you took. So thank you very much, brother, for the
All right.
initiative.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And
Yeah.
let me end right there.
Okay.